You can put your.
I'm going to call the March 4 meeting to order with. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first will be recognition of guests. Does anybody want to address council tonight?
I don't particularly.
I see,
feel.
I see a strange face. So I think you probably want to address council.
Okay,
Or maybe both of you. I just looked at one. Go ahead.
do you want me to just
Just,
myself?
you don't have to address us, but
My name is Kelly Hopkins. I just moved here in November, and I'm just kids at Cloverleaf High School and Elementary, and I'm just here because I want to talk about hosting a run on behalf of the PTO.
about what's that?
Hosting a run, a 5K.
That 5K run that I've been hearing about?
Yes.
Okay, that's on the agenda, as a matter of fact. So why don't I just move to it?
Great.
The only issue we had was the bridge. It came up from Dave that, well, we're looking maybe to have to replace it in a year or so. We're not really sure. And we've never had a mountain of people running across that thing.
Right.
So I also understood that you could go with an alternate course if the bridge won't work, if the bridge was out of the picture.
Yes, Chrissy sent me the map, so I didn't, since I don't know the town that well, like, we just moved here, I don't know the route, I haven't ran it, because right away she called and said, hey, that's not gonna work, so once we figure out what that route could be, I mean, I'm happy to walk it or run it myself, to figure out what the best layout would be.
Okay, well, in the meantime, I was asking council tonight to give the okay to have Dave talk to the engineers and get somebody out there to inspect it and tell us whether it would be okay for the 5K run. And it helps us too,
Great.
because we need to look at what kind of repairs we need to do to it in the future, as well as, well, maybe we need to replace it. So if council's okay with Dave going ahead on that, get that done, okay?
I'm gonna do it anyways, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna happen, and I don't know, how long do you think it'll take, Dave, to get them to take a look at it?
A week or so.
Week?
When is the run, or when are you?
May the 18th.
How many runners are you expecting?
We're aiming for 200, but usually a third don't show up.
150?
Yeah,
125, something like that?
Yeah, I would say 150, 160 would show if all metals sold.
Would your route include any of the major feeder routes, Greenwich Road? Westfield Road, Norfolk Road?
I do not know the route.
Hi, my name's Denise. I'm a board member of the PTO. And so we do have, I was sent an email of the route. I don't have it, a copy of it. I
I'm
can,
looking at a copy.
okay, I know it was sent via email, so I apologize. Yeah,
I was just, from a safety standpoint, I was gonna ask the chief if 2 officers would be adequate from a safety standpoint. and
I can-
Traffic.
They are, it does look, the copy I have, it does look like they have a portion that does run Greenwich Road. And especially, I'm not sure what the construction project will be at that time. With the construction project that the company has going, you might want to see if you can adjust that Greenwich Road section.
Is this on a Sunday, right?
Yes.
It's on Sunday, if that matters.
I know in contacting Dave Wertz over there, sometimes they do work the weekends. I imagine if the weather breaks that I'm just making an assumption, I know I shouldn't, but I imagine when the weather breaks, that might be.
Yeah, it's that 1 mile stretch from Simmons to Grant.
And there's a lot of heavy trucks.
You know what we're talking about.
Is there a way to get them on the
Yes, I-
sidewalk in that little section? Off the road?
There's 100 and some runners.
Is it
it's gonna be walking in, right? I'm not running.
Is it the tail end? Is that mile stretch, the tail end of the run or the beginning of the
It
run?
is the tail end of the run.
They
It
should
looks
be
like that.
spaced out enough
By that
that
point, yeah.
you might be able to be sidewalk runners.
Yeah. It's gonna start at the park.
Yes,
And at the bar.
yes.
Gotcha. That's like right in the middle.
So you're gonna go west and then up Grant and back around the auto walker.
So Dave said he's about a week, so maybe a week, week and a half. Is that soon enough to tell you
What,
whether it can be the route using the bridge or not?
yes, the route can be swapped at any point in time. Like even if, like a few weeks before, if it just, you just decide it's not gonna work, we can switch it.
Okay,
That's not, I mean, you're the approval I'm looking for the route, so I can swap it at any point in time.
I guess I'd say we're good with you doing it.
Okay, that's exactly the answer I was hoping for.
And that's the important,
We need a formal vote.
I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
we should.
yeah, let's have a form. Can I have a motion to approve the schools running the 5K run through the park in town?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're on the books now.
Thank you.
Thank you for your efforts.
I'm gonna go down now.
As well.
Dave would be your contact
Okay.
in terms of what's gonna happen with that bridge. I'd say the police chief would be your contact concerning the route.
Okay,
I think from a common sense standpoint too, I don't know if there are any best practices or common strategies that you'll be looking for. I would suggest that all spectators be advised to keep the sidewalks and out of the road.
Yes.
So that we're only dealing with 120 runners instead of 120 runners and another 100 spectators.
and we have, in our disclosure, we have, we can provide that from the sign up, the liability that the Village of Westfield Center, anyone involved in the run they are signing away their rights of any legal things.
I would compliment you on the route.
I didn't make it, whoever did it.
It's like a very safe route and it's utilizing sidewalks all the way around.
Chrissy has a contact over at Westfield.
Yeah, someone made it for me, so.
Are you insured on this if something happens or?
We should not have to be the liability for, like, as long as they sign their liability, that they can't,
They have to send a waiver.
yeah.
Agree with that, Aaron?
You're just in time here.
Yeah,
This
I
is-
noticed that.
this is- 5K run.
Yeah.
We were okay with them running it.
Yep.
And my question was, do we need to have anything insurance
It's a
wise?
school PTA, right?
Yeah.
The elementary or the?
We are the middle school and high school combined. That just happened, so we're trying to support both schools.
Does PTA carry liability insurance, its own policy?
I will check with Maya. She is our financial, but I know we're,
What do you think we need? Aaron?
yeah, I'm sure we do,
I think-
yes.
The village's policy, the PTA's policy, even with the waivers, you know, there's probably not gonna be any indemnity because if something happens on a village sidewalk, the claim's gonna come to the village. No less than it would if you were walking on the sidewalk and you fell. I mean, more because there's people and there's crowds and there's all that stuff, so there's a little bit more risk than 150.
Or they're hitting the road or something?
What about a special event policy?
Well, that would be.
I mean, those are cheap, they cost a couple $100.
There would be, there would be places that would require that as a condition of having it happen. And maybe what could happen is it could either supplement what the PA has already got, or there could be something where they look at acquiring it, and if it's too.
We are
expensive-
insured.
Okay. If it's too expensive to acquire that in addition to what they, like a special event would be just for this
And I think
function.
we should request that, the PTA at the Village of Westfield Center is additional policy.
Yeah, I guess, sir.
Yep. Because that way then there's an additional layer of protection. Obviously, the village coverage is still gonna be there in the background, but you don't want that to be the primary.
And I'm sorry, not to, what, someone had mentioned there was like a couple $100 for an
There's
extra.
in the insurance industry, there's a you can obtain from any independent agent, probably what they call a special events.
Okay, special events, like I'm just texting the finance
And
lady.
this is insurance coverage for a specific event on a specific day and time.
But it's possible too, your coverage may extend.
For that, yeah, we'll check it. I'm just typing this out to her.
So what we would need, and Aaron can jump in if he disagrees, would be either a copy of the declarations page of your special events policy, if you choose to get one, or a certificate of insurance from the PTA's PTO or PTA.
PTO, Parent Teacher Organization.
A certificate of insurance from the PTO's insurance carrier naming the village as additional insured, and we can talk offline and give you specifics on that.
Perfect.
And
But you've got a couple options, but either way, we would need to be held harmless as much as legally possible.
Absolutely.
Time on Sunday?
The one will start at 8. Typically it will run, I mean, the very longest would be an hour and a half. I mean, from start to finish and cleanup.
Do you guys have volunteers for, I know we have 2 for obviously our traffic control, but do you guys have volunteers for other intersections, and are you okay
Yeah.
with that? Like, what?
Typically,
volunteered.
Working on Sundays.
Right? I knew you did.
typically what I do is make sure there are people at the intersections to make sure like, hey, runners are coming. We're just working on the layout right now of what we need from you and what is expected.
Hey, 18th, he's a history lesson anyhow.
That worked out really well for you.
You're picking a great day, a Sunday. I mean, things are
It's pretty quiet.
pretty quiet on Sundays.
Might have to watch out for the golf cart.
do we have if we seen having a waiver too, or
Not yet.
it'd be great if you can
Do
share.
we have the,
I have this.
Yeah, I bet if I clicked on that, I can find it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's it. Yeah, if you click on that, it'll bring you. Okay.
Thank you guys. Again, for your work.
Have a great event.
200 medals. Everyone can run and walk.
What did you choose? Westfield Center of all the places.
I'm a walker runner and I like we moved here because I like the sidewalks and the quiet streets. And my husband knows that I like to walk. And I've planned runs before. My husband we just got back from Japan. So I planned runs for the schools over there and I'm familiar with how to do it. And it was the way I could give back. And I like this community and frankly, I live here, so it's easy for me to be right where I'm at.
And this is a great, I mean, in how large this school district is, this is kind of the central, I live out. So, and then, we have ones who live towards Wadsworth, so this is really a more central area too for everyone.
It's great.
Nice and fire truck, get a couple volunteers out of them. Maybe, we'll see what we can do. Good PR for you.
They probably will want the emergency squad available for somebody falls or something.
I'm sorry?
Hot weather casualty.
Yeah, could be. We'll talk.
See, you might have got more than you bargained for. We know you don't get the chief. He's done. All right, we're all done with this one?
Yes.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
And you're welcome to stay and soak this up. It's all free. It's all free and you're welcome. So, and you're also free to go, whatever you want. All right, item 2, or anybody else want to address council? Okay, item 2, acceptance of council minutes from February 5. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? A motion to pay the bills? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Acceptance of the fiscal officer's monthly financial reports.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor? Any opposed? I have no old business on the agenda. We just took care of number one. Number two, I had a question. This said I-71. Does that mean I-71? Or we don't have any, is the village on I-71 anyplace?
Is it right by the club?
It looks like it on that big map over here, like right down there. at the bottom.
South end of the golf course.
Yeah.
Oh, the golf
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay.
Well, I looked it up and it took, that map's correct.
Okay, all right. This would be a resolution concerning Ohio Department of Transportation to complete repairs to I-71 within the limits of the village. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt.
So moved. Second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item three, ordinance 2025-2, an ordinance setting the 2025 permanent appropriations. Can I have a motion to suspend?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Questions?
This is what we approved last. month, right?
It includes the capital items that we.
Capital items.
Yeah.
Includes that, yes, yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item four is the agreement for dispatch and communication systems with Medina County Sheriff's Department. Can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
What's the amount on it, Debbie? Do you know?
It's in here, 7,000.
That 7,000 number, that's the one on the bills? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? At your station tonight was an item 5. The township has a special fire meeting on March 6th at 3:30 in the afternoon. Anybody who wants to attend? You see from the Mike Schmidt's email to Nathan Cott, what's going on there. And we did not talk about anything 3 years ago, as that says, that's somebody's error.
Starting from scratch, or do you know where they're?
We don't know what they're gonna do.
We don't know.
I'm sure they know.
Last meeting we invited to, so.
We asked them to invite us this time, so they did. Any other questions on that? Any other new or old business?
Thank you so much.
Jason was not able to be here tonight. There was a sheet that he had there with a few things on it, but all of that was ongoing. With a hold on the clarifiers because that was not approved. Police Department report.
The report for February, we had 2 reports, 6 calls for service, 1 traffic crash, 26 officer generated citizens assist, we had 19 vacation watches. We had 1 assist to the Westfield Fire Department, 6 to the Sheriff's Office, 6 to the Seville Police Department, 3 to Lodi Police Department for a total of 16. We had 5 traffic stops, no criminal arrests, 5 warnings, and 1 citation.
Chief, where's the crash?
That was at Greenwich Road near the water treatment plant. He hit a patch of ice. Paul noted that there wasn't any ice on it.
Melted by the time you got there.
His tires.
Where he got home. Searching for the skin.
Is that it? Any other questions for the police chief? Fire Department, Dave.
We had 36 incidents in February. One to Chippewa Lake Village, two in Guilford Township, 3 in Harrisville, 2 in Lodi Village, 24 in Westfield Township, and 4 inside of Westfield Village. We had 24 calls during the day shift and 12 calls during the night shift. We gave mutual aid 8 times and we received it 6 times. And the department updates. As far as the billing, EMS, we've billed out $17,441.60. MVA and fire bills, we've billed out $6,482.19. So far, we've received nothing this year. That's all based on the insurance. We had 8 resident transports, 7 non-resident transports, and 1 mutual aid non-resident transport. We've not missed any calls for service. And general department updates, organization of the EMS training closet as well as the supply closet has been completed and out-of-date items have been disposed of. Chief Hall and myself met with Medina County Parks Police Chief Swinehart about any collaboration for any incidents on the park properties that they may have. They've acquired quite a bit of land within the township and plan on doing some improvements to it. And we want to be in collaboration with them as far as if anything would happen on either their trails or camping sites or whatever they may have coming up in the future. And I know there's some more land that they're in negotiation on. Chief Hall, myself, and Lieutenant Blair attended a fireworks update at Stark State put on by the Fire Marshal's office. And Lieutenant Blair and myself completed our Fire Officer 1 certification, and Fire Officer 2 starts next week. And equipment purchases, the skid unit for the UTV was delivered and mounted. Day crews have been training on it. We will have further training as it becomes available through BFIS and whatnot because of the way that that sits and the weight and distribution and whatnot on the UTV. Membership, Rick Patton's resigned his firefighter paramedic as of March 4th. He's got a full-time job with the city of Elyria. He lives in Lorraine County and he also works part-time for one of the ERs up there. So he just doesn't have time anymore to give to us. We do have 3 new candidate interviews. Their interviews have been conducted by the lieutenants. Chief and I have interviews scheduled for them within the next week. To interview 3 more additional people. As far as community, it says no report there, but on March 19th at 9:50 in the morning will be the statewide tornado drill. So the sirens will be going off and it's posted on our Facebook page, and I've sent an email to Debbie and Chrissy on that. And nothing to update on grants. And that's all I have.
Questions for Dave?
On day shift, how many staff members do you have on duty?
Typically 2.
And how many in night?
We'd like to have 2 overnight, but that doesn't always happen. Sometimes there's one of us, sometimes there's not anybody physically at the station. And then Chief Hall or myself or Lieutenant Gore, the 3 of us will pick that up we'll work that out. But typically 2, but I'm there a lot during the day and Chief's there, so yeah, there might be 4 at any given point. But we're scheduled 2.
Okay. Other questions for Dave? Okay, thank you. Dave Pitzenberger.
February's report, processed 6.81 million gallons of wastewater. Filed the monthly EPA reports, performed all the required and operational testing, and the routine equipment maintenance. Here at Village Hall, we've worked on a lighting system and started cleaning up the basement. On streets, we salted streets and continue to do equipment maintenance. Had no activity in the cemetery, parks, or with zoning.
Questions for Dave?
Did we have a water intrusion in the basement somewhere, or did we just put it on?
Just clutter,
Oh,
clutter and dust.
Could I request a purchase for that snowplow attachment? I believe it would actually be a good service for our residents.
Are you talking about the one for the park?
Yep. One for the park, whether we put it on, I don't know if there's deals, end of the season deals or something, or we wait till fall, but
Request what?
the purchase of the snowplow attachment for the park paths to plow them.
We talked about that at the,
I thought we were not wanting to do that because we created, I thought we created expectations. Did I hear wrong?
There was just some discussion about whether that elevates your liability risk when you do any amount of plowing. And I mean,
Then we need to
there is a,
solve them in the whole thing then.
You have a duty then to continue.
Yeah.
right, you can be
Plowing, so-
negligent in your cleaning of your sidewalks when you clean your sidewalks at all.
You could create a hazard.
Right, if you don't stay on top of it. So if you do part of the job or you
The
don't.
hazard is greater if you plow.
It goes 50-50 either way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it does become kind of a policy question in terms of how you manage it, because I think the conversation we had last time was, well, most places don't do that. I don't think that's the case. I think most places do it and accept the element liability, or maybe not doing it on every park service or anything, but,
We can certainly do it.
right. And then it becomes a manpower question.
What council wants to do.
well, I think if we did it, it would be the priority is still the streets. And then
Right.
when everything else gets caught up, then we could go and do that piece of it, but the priority would still be the streets, so that would be fine.
My concern is where it ends. If we do the park trail,
then we may feel compelled based on,
input to do the park circle and then.
Oh, I thought we were talking, Sky, I missed it. Oh,
Then
the
we
park
may.
trail, you were talking park trail?
Yes.
Oh,
You do this.
might-
We do the circle. We do, yeah.
Excuse me,
Then
And
is
we do
it-
the
you
sidewalks
do the
coming up
cemeteries,
to
do you
the
do
post office here
sidewalks?
too.
Right, we do
do the
the
post-
circle and all the way
and-
from the circle to the post office, or no?
Yeah.
Here, yes.
Yes.
What do we clean that with? Just a snow blower?
That and a brush.
Yeah. That's why I say for the thing at the park, you could just use.
well, you're talking on a big job if you want to do that path at the park. That's,
You would need, I think, well, can we just find out instead of, I think it'd be good to look at it, and I know there's a lot of people are using that more and more now. But how much, I mean, it's something that we mount on a gator.
Mhm.
would you use a brush or would you use a scraper,
You'd use a plow.
a plow?
Would
Okay.
be like like a V plow would go up both sides, or,
I don't know if those are available for Gator or not.
okay, I,
They have a snowplow for the Gator one that we do have.
I know they make plows for, I just don't know that they make a V plow.
Right,
okay, let's,
right.
do we already have a plow?
You do not.
We do not.
Well, we're buying a gator.
Do you have any
I said
idea?
we're
on
buying a
price?
gator, so. that
Would the
be-
Gator be the right tool, or would it be put something on one of the vent tracks?
The vent track we use right now, and we have a blower for it, but we do not have a blade set up for it. I don't know, I'd have to look.
What do you think about that? I've seen them use them on vent tracks. I remember being phone.
How do you feel about it? Do you?
It adds a couple hours of time to the day, so with that in mind, like I said, the streets, and then actually this building is our number one concern after the streets. But if you want it done, we can certainly make it happen.
I think we should know what we're getting involved with either a blade for the Ventrex or blade for a gator, and that's something you can find out for next meeting. Well, we can decide and then have it if we need it for next year.
is a Gator enough, vehicle, you're talking about Ventura, is a Gator enough,
planning ahead.
enough vehicle to push to handle snow on that?
Yeah, because you're gonna have to load up with some weight anyway, you're gonna be carrying salt.
If you're working there.
Probably better to take the Gator to get it up there than to take the Ventrex all the way up there, right?
For salting that, yes, we do. So we work out of, the back end here is where we store the salt. So it's easy to do around here and up to the circle. It's a different conversation, take it all the way up to the.
Well, then there you'd have to use a Gator because you're gonna have a spreader on the back of that thing. Your hand spread that whole.
Oh, we've got a spreader on the back of the Ventrac.
Well, you'll get back with us on the best way to do this.
Why don't you think about it and come back, we'll talk about it next meeting and figure out what. I think it's definitely worth.
Yeah, what's the best piece of equipment for it? What's that gonna cost? Know the now and all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you get requests to do the park?
Yes.
Do you realize it'll probably turn out to be a sheet of ice after we do that?
On certain days, yes. On the other 49 out of the 50, it'll be fine.
And you will have to hand shovel that bridge. Because it's not wide enough to get the equipment through. Unless we rebuild it at one
We
point and
have-
take that into consideration.
I just think that we spent so much money on the park and we put so much time and effort into having it. It's
Yeah.
there, so people are using it, whether we plow it or not. I think we owe it to them to plow it. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
No, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the effort to look into it.
You've got a,
We'll see,
we'll see. kind
which
of
is
thing.
understandable.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
Thank you.
okay. Any other questions for Dave? Mayor's report, nothing in mayor's court, no communications. I'm not concerned about anything. And law director.
Just an update, we had a proposal from the folks who are gonna do the property acquisition, and there's some additional work in town. They did get me a copy to be marked up. Just some of the language that was maybe not appropriate for a contract with the village, so indemnification and some language like that that needs to be addressed. So I'm working on that, and I should have that back to them later this week, and then hopefully we'll have something to go in front of the mayor for signature here shortly. So,
Are we up against any deadline on getting that back to them that anybody knows of?
they'd like to have, they'd like to have it as soon as possible.
Just ASAP.
And that's, yeah. And I don't know, I'm not gonna be overzealous on the modification. There's some things that just need to be changed.
Well, that's
and-
why.
Yeah. So presumably if we get that to them in signable form, they'll get it approved and we'll be ready to move. So,
Anything else?
some thoughts related to the executive session item on personnel, but we'll save those for then, I guess.
I just wanted to thank Aaron for the work on the income tax. That last letter that you sent was a big help. We were able to resolve everyone that was non-filer. We've been in contact with.
Wow.
We've, made some additional extensions, but yeah, we really.
We can send another letter if the extensions don't go.
I know, yeah, you're not completely out of the woods yet, yeah.
How many extensions did you have to put out?
I'm probably like 4, I'm not working.
So they owed us money.
Well, either way, they haven't filed yet, but the thing about the extension is that we've got communication now, which is what was lacking before, so that's great.
fact that you guys were able to go from 116 to 0 is, I commend everyone involved in that.
That's awesome. Just to be clear, that's a lot more than me and Chris's work than mine. I just came in at the end. I'll move
Team effort.
I think we won't have that in the future because they see we're paying attention now.
Yeah.
At least to that number.
Yeah.
Okay, council comments and concerns, Mr. Bittner,
I have none.
Ms. Kunick,
None.
Ms. Neb,
I've said enough today.
Mr. Oaks,
I have nothing.
Robs, walk up.
Good.
Now, the next meeting is March 4th, but we have an executive session, so can I,
It's actually,
Today's March 4th.
somebody just changed that on the agenda.
next meeting is,
April 1st.
I just read what's in front of me. I'm one of those guys you can count on just to follow along. Don't know anything.
Like, that sounds like an April 1st kind of fun.
Don't know anything, don't ask. All right. Can I have a motion to go in executive session? Roll call.
Bittner,
Aye.
Tom,
Hi.
Yeah.